We depend on energy for just about everything from running our homes to transporting us from place to place. Over the years, energy has empowered us to do more and better. With energy, we have enriched our lives, become increasingly efficient, and improved our standard of living. Where does all this energy come from? About 86% of our energy comes from fossil fuels, which were named for the way that they were formed. That is, from the decomposition of dead plants and animals trapped under pressure beneath the Earth's sediment for millions of years. Fossil fuels include coal, oil, or petroleum, and natural gas. Their extraction from the earth, their transportation, processing, and combustion all pose hazards for the environment and for our health. So, our comfortable standard of living, powered by energy, comes at great cost. Here's how. We'll begin with the extraction or drilling of natural gas and oil from deep underground shale by means of high-pressure water and chemicals. Called hydraulic fracturing or fracking, it is highly controversial because of preliminary evidence that fracking is bad for the environment and bad for health. The pros are that fracking on our own soil means increasing the domestic supply of energy so that we don't have to depend on the Middle East or any foreign country as a source of fuel. Also, natural gas has to a large degree replaced coal for generating electricity, and natural gas is cleaner than coal with lower carbon dioxide emissions. And last but not least, fracking can boost the economy of the communities and states where it's permitted. Poor rural communities might welcome fracking as a form of economic development. They need to beware. Some desperate farmers might be persuaded to sell rights to their land in hopes of striking it rich and may be left with an empty promise. The cons are that fracking is associated with contamination of groundwater, earthquakes, and toxins released into the air. Even if natural gas is an improvement over coal in terms of air pollution, anti-frackers claim that exploiting another fossil fuel just puts off the urgent need to stop emitting carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. It puts off the urgent need for a complete switch to clean and renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power. In addition to extraction from the earth, our combustion of fossil fuels creates a huge release of carbon dioxide and other harmful greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. We all burn fossil fuels in heating and lighting our homes and businesses, plugging in our appliances, running our industries, driving our cars and boats, or traveling by train or plane. Scientific evidence supports a causal relationship between combustion of fossil fuels, increase in greenhouse gases, and global warming or climate change. Actually, climate change is a more accurate term than global warming to describe our abnormal weather conditions. While temperatures may be rising all over the world, different regions of the world are experiencing extreme weather patterns that include heat waves as well as frigid temperatures, and serious floods as well as long-lasting droughts. You might think, so what? First, storms and floods destroy homes, businesses, and transportation infrastructure. That is, roads, bridges, tunnels, and mass transit. They disrupt power lines, especially critical for hospitals. New York City, Long Island, and the New Jersey Shore were hit hard by Superstorm Sandy in 2012. Some people lost everything and were forced to leave their hometowns and rebuild on higher ground. On the other extreme, drought causes communities, especially in the West, to compete for scarce water, and drought severely reduces the yield from farms and fisheries, causing food shortages everywhere. But climate change doesn't affect everyone equally. The most vulnerable, that is, the poor, the old, the young, and the sick, along with developing countries, suffer and will continue to suffer the most. Here is yet another example of health disparities between the haves and the have-nots, another burden to the public's health. Scientific evidence demonstrates that these environmental hazards are real and undeniable. We have received our warning. If we as a society want to live life as we now know it, we'll have to mitigate the effects of climate change. We'll have to act now to reduce our carbon footprint. That is, change our behavior so that we release less greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. But we'll have to act on all fronts: global, national, state, community, institutional, and individual. Public health has recently acknowledged that economic factors are important to people and that the public health approach has to be realistic. Many people and businesses may be happy with the here and now and not want to sacrifice for the sake of the future. Realistically and frankly, what can and what would you do to help save our planet Earth?